a minute, I've got a load of work in Manchester. We're at Rogue Studios. It's an exhibition called Connect 2. So it's myself and another artist, Rachel Addis. We've worked together quite a bit over years.
Someone coming to our exhibition today, my show with Mikk Murray, Connect 2. What I'd expect you to see is some big, bold, patterned, beautiful, colourful paintings on a large scale that have been inspired by nature.
I would describe this exhibition as beautiful.
Contrast in terms of the mark making.
Impressive.
Bright. Natural.
Stimulating.
Vibrant exhibition, it hits you when you walk through the door.
Supernatural.
Exuberant.
Big.
Colourful, I think.
And exciting.
So we had a show together back in 2022. I met Mick back in 2020 and we struck up a relationship where we support each other creatively, and we realised that our work really connects, hence why we called the show Connect.
Although our work visually is quite different, we're both interested in the natural world, the landscape, meditation, because all this mark making, it is meditative, it's repetitive, it's a process. And we both like exploring those interests in the natural world through art, through painting.
And there's lots of things such as meditation and our passion for nature and our obsession with materials and process that makes us as artists connect, and also our paintings connect. So within the show, we've kind of curated it, not necessarily for just our individual pieces of work to be put up, but for our actual paintings to connect with each other.
We'll send each other's work over. What do you think to this? What do you think to that? The space here is brilliant. It's massive. It's huge. It's ginormous. It probably would feel really daunting to have an exhibition in this space if I only made tiny work, but both of us love making big paintings. When a big space like this comes up, like I've brought over 30 paintings, I probably only put 12, 13 of them in show. It's a great place to be in that, I think, where you can be really selective.
I've got a lot of work on display. The work that you'll see is three parts, really. I've got my kind of abstract botanical work that's been created over the last 3 years, which originally started when I started painting in my sister's garden, who unfortunately is no longer with us. And a way of healing through her loss is I started painting in her garden from her plants. I've been commissioned to create some of that style of work on a really large scale for a client in Dubai. So it's kind of gone on a larger scale. We're lucky enough to have that painting with us today. Then there's kind of the other style of work that I've got on display is the landscape work, which has been inspired by my love of Asia and living in Asia. And they've got a kind of more of a narrative in those works. So, for example, I've created a painting based on an olive tree, and my friend gave me a book of olive trees that had been destroyed in Gaza, and I started looking at the importance and the symbolism of olive trees. And I've also got some paintings inspired by the Silk Road, and I've been listening to loads of audiobooks about refugees' voyages from fleeing their countries such as Afghanistan and Pakistan, and I'm kind of really drawn to that really beautiful landscape. And I want the paintings to be beautiful and show that landscape, but also that kind of hidden narrative of actually people have to traipse through these landscapes.
I've enjoyed being in the space today. This is impressive, very impressive.
There is kind of overlapping and layers, and it feels multi-dimensional.
I like the feeling of flow through some of the work. I like the depth, same as you. We're very familiar with Mick's work because it was in our gallery until last Saturday. But it's nice to see it in this context with Rachel's. And I do think it makes a very, very interesting and explosive exhibition.
Explosive?
Yeah.
The richness of the colours is really impactful. You can kind of dive into the substance, the material of the paintings, looking at them and be entranced by the colour. And that stimulates associations with nature, with growth, with life, with movement. Amazing and evocative space.
It's an exciting space. Kudos to the pair of them. It's great. It's really, really good. They're both of them are fantastic painters. And to work on this scale, it takes a lot of courage, I think.
When I'm doing my drawings and my paintings, I'm reliving it. I'm having that quiet reflection on the woods that I were in. Sometimes I'm in polytunnel. I'm painting a few lines, I'm pulling up some weeds, painting a few lines, nibbling a bit of lettuce, painting a few lines. Oh, I'll go and water this or check on that. I don't know what it is, but it just feels good. It feels good.
The energy in my work is actually the energy of the mark within the paintings. When I'm painting, it goes in stages. The first stage is the expressive, kind of messy stage, and I often go and work outside in the gardens here at Rogue, and I use spray paint. Sometimes I pour paint on, and that's a kind of really releasing stage. It's like really energetic and lots of movement involved. And then I bring the paintings into the studio and I start applying layers of paint. It starts to become calmer. I come in and start mark making, and that can be meditative, but it's also quite compulsive, quite obsessive. Once the layers start, I often find myself at like 1, 2 in the morning painting dots. Because what else do you do with your lives? It takes you into a new headspace. The act of painting is physical and psychological. It's a solitary experience. These paintings take months, hours and hours, and I'm literally just sat there painting dots or lines and things. So, and it does take you to a new dimension.
I really enjoyed, we got all the work out, and the first thing I did was just put work in all the places that a painting would go in the room. And that's where I really enjoy the curation part of it, because you start to think about what paintings are talking to each other, what conversations are going on here. Because it's really easy to be like, well, that's a green one and that's a green one. But actually what happens is the room starts becoming segments and everything becomes separate. And especially with this show, it is about connectedness, the connectedness of the natural world. You know, we're not separate from nature. Why should these paintings be separated? So then we started looking at, we don't need 3 green paintings in a row. Nature doesn't seem to go like that. Everything kind of grows together. I talk about it in my work with this symbiotic relationship between things. Putting the work out where it's not separated off in terms of colour or size, but actually like what conversations are going on.
Since I first met Mikk, which was over 6 years ago now, it's really good to see how both our practices evolved. This creative journey has just taken me to new places. I ended up quitting my full-time job. I ended up working as a school artist with special needs kids 2 days a week, which is another thing that's really, really important to me. I've learned lots about how to do creative activities with children with very, very complex disabilities. And you may not see that in my actual everyday practice, but it is kind of, it all does come around full circle. And the children from the school came to the exhibition, which was really, really special. They created paintings in response to mine and Mick's work.
I think we forget that art is for everyone, because you make art before you can write and before you know how to speak. You're already starting to create things, and people should come in here just to reconnect with that, because they are quite playful.
It's really important to come to galleries and artworks. Seeing it makes me feel just inspired.
I think something that popped up in my head when we were putting the show together with this idea, when you're looking at a wildflower meadow, you're looking at all these different plants and flowers together, all blooming as a whole. You're not looking at little chunks and separate patches. It looks amazing because all the work, all the flowers are growing together and they all just merge together to make this beautiful image. And I feel like the show's kind of done that, really. It's not all cut off into chunks, green here and red there. Everything's all mixed in, but just in this organic, natural way.
What I've learned from doing this show is working with Mikk. He makes me more professional. So not necessarily about the techniques of the painting, but it's actually about how you present an exhibition, how you curate an exhibition, how you actually work as a team and have the respect to appreciate each other's ideas and feelings without trampling over them.
Come and see Rachel and Mickey's work because it's really beautiful. Don't we need beauty in the world just now? The space of the exhibition it's really nice just to walk around and look at the different offerings. The opportunity to lose yourself for an hour or two in something that has been created from human consciousness and love and commitment and intelligence put into these images.
It's a wonderful experience to come into a space like this and be uplifted by such joyous work.
I would say that you will gain something from coming here and looking at these paintings.
You don't have to know anything about art to come and enjoy what you're seeing here. Because again, it ties back to nature. That's everywhere. You can't avoid it. So there's a beauty in that.
I say definitely come and have a look. If you're artistic yourself, you'll be inspired. If you're looking to buy a painting, there's some beautiful paintings on show.